مساء الخير للجميع. رمضان كريم، وإن شاء الله بظروف أحسن على منطقتنا. بيسعدني كتير اليوم شارك معكم مع دكتورة سماء الطباع هالفعالية اللي هي رح تكون مميزة جدا. قبل ما بلش نحكي عن الفعالية وتفاصيلها مع دكتورة سماء، أنا حابة بس أعلن عن مد هيلث برو اللي نحن بشراكة وثيقة مع in partnership مع Virtual Medical Academy. عرفكن شوي عن مد هيلث برو لأنه رح يكون في عنا مشاريع متزايدة مع الأكاديمية إن شاء الله بالمستقبل. وبكورة هالأعمال هو رح يكون الميديكال ريبريزنتيف بروجرام اللي رح نحكي شوي عنه اليوم، ورح نحكي عن الرول تبع الميديكال ريبريزنتيف in general. So let me start introducing MedHealth Pro to you a little bit. ناخد شوي من وقتكم لنحكي عن الموضوع اليوم. الفعالية مثل ما حكينا هي What makes a successful medical representative. دكتورة سماء هي السبيكر الأساسية، وأنا رح أكون عم عاومنا كمودريتور. بنحب نعمل disclosure إنه we don't have any financial interest, arrangement or affiliation with a commercial organization that may have a material interest in the subject matter of this presentation. This presentation will not discuss the unapproved or off-label uses of a medical device, biological or pharmaceutical product. خليني بس أحكي شوي عن مد هيلث برو. مين نحن؟ We are a specialized healthcare consultancy and training firm operating through a Lebanon-based entity and an offshore entity, enabling regional reach with global capabilities. We are inspired مثل ما شايفين الشعار تبعنا هو اللوتس, symbolizing resilience, clarity and renewal. We partner with healthcare organizations to navigate complexity, drive transformation and achieve sustainable performance. The ripples بالsymbol اللي شايفينه reflect our commitment to creating lasting, positive impact across healthcare system in the regions and beyond. Our work is delivered by a distinguished network of internationally trained consultants مثل ما اليوم رح نكون مع دكتورة سماء, and subject matter experts combining global perspectives with deep sector experience to provide strategic compliance-driven and operationally effective solution tailored to each client's objectives. I wish Dr. Sama, I leave the floor to introduce herself. I wish Dr. Sama a very successful and pleasant presentation with you this evening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rana. Hello, everybody, and thank you for that warm introduction about MedHealth Pro. I'm Sama Al-Tabba, and as a clinical pharmacist, I've spent years working with healthcare teams and field medical representatives. And today, I'm so happy to share my experience in this field with you tonight. As I said, thank you again, and I'm welcoming you again to this free session. Before we dive in this session, I want to introduce myself a little bit. Okay, I'm Sama Al-Tabba. I have a BS in Medical Laboratory Technology and PharmD in Clinical Pharmacy. I am Lebanese. I live in Beirut, Lebanon. And as I told you, in addition to my PharmD and BS in Medical Lab Technology and PharmD, I carry an MBA, which is Master's in Business Administration. My work experience evolves on many roles I have played over the years. It began with the Chief Pharmacist Officer at the WHO office related to the United Nations in Beirut. Then I was assigned by the WHO office as the director of a center in Lebanon called the Karantina Drug Distribution Center, where we had a big fund from the WHO and established this center. Later, after opening my own pharmacy, I shifted to clinical research and I opened my own company, which is Mars Medical Agency for Research and Statistics. Okay. In addition to all this experience, I have some volunteer work, which is through the IVPN network and LinkedIn, if you have any acquaintance with it. I am the operations coordinator of the Journal Club, as well as I have carried more than 35 research projects, national and international, and with multinational companies. I have been an experienced speaker and trainer in courses for more than 15 years, in conferences, in workshops, in master classes. And they were organized and still organized by pharmaceutical companies, international organizations, academic institutions, and regulatory agencies. Okay, I have more than, well, I should update this slide because there are now more than 30 plus articles in peer review journals, in addition to a book in Amazon, which is called The Clinical Research Process from Initiation to Publication. I am a volunteer worker at the Children's Cancer Center, where this is my obsession, and as well as an organization called Feed the Need, where I am a board member. Okay. One of my or three of my achievements, which I love, I am an editorial board member in two peer-reviewed reputable journals. I am the Lebanese ambassador for the Global Pharmacovigilance Society. And finally, one of my projects that I am very proud of, I was involved in the write-up of the briefing of the Lebanon Crisis Response Plan, which was funded by the WHO. So this is in brief about me. Today, what are we going to discuss and what are we going to share? We are going to bridge the gap between what you may know about a medical representative, okay, role and job descriptions and everything, and what should a medical representative have or no, okay? Before we begin, let's now learn more about you. Okay, I have here 48 attendees. I would love to learn more about you. In doing that, here's the deal. Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions. Okay, these are introductory poll questions, right? Don't worry, this isn't a test and there's no right or wrong answers. We just want to understand your background, what's working for you, what's challenging in your field. Okay, and your answers are anonymous, honestly. We will not see who answered what. They're just for us to make the program better and to build upon the material according to your relevant answers. Okay, ready? This is the first part. Let's get a sense of the room, who's just starting out and who's been in the field for a while. Go ahead, pick your answer. How many years have you been in this medical representative field, or you may not have been in it, not yet working in the field? The second poll is about your background. Okay, so this is interesting for me because it helps me understand the mix of scientific knowledge you have in the room. Don't overthink it. Just pick the one that's best for you. Pharmacy, biology, chemistry, medicine, nursing, business, marketing. Thank you so much. Now the third poll where it talks about scientific confidence. Let's be honest. How comfortable are you or you think you are when a doctor asks a tough question about data or guidelines or clinical research? Don't worry, no judgment is here. Just click what feels right for you, please. It's not a test. It's good for us to be able to customize this program for you and to know the sense of who are in the room with us. So how confident do you feel discussing clinical data with physicians? Very, somehow, neutral. Maybe you are not uncomfortable, slightly or very uncomfortable. Thank you so much. Now we'll move to the first poll about field challenges. Now let's talk about the reality of the field, the medical representative field. Every representative faces obstacles during the visits. I was one of them, and I'm curious to know which one affects you the most. Please choose the option that reflects your daily experience, like getting access to the doctor, handling his objections, which are tough enough, explaining scientific data clearly, which is important, differentiating from competitors, or managing your time, your territory, your region, etc. Pick up your answer, please. Okay. Now, the fifth poll, don't worry, there are only 9 polls about role perception. Here's it. Let's reflect a bit. How do you see your role day by day? Sales, science, relationship management, strategic business role. It's a mix of all, or you don't know. You're still not in the field. Okay, you don't know. And now let's move. We are almost there. Don't worry. Program interest. Our program that we are launching. This question helps me to understand how relevant structured training like this feels to you personally, if such a program existed, like the one we are launching, that truly address the field challenges. How likely would you be to consider enrolling in it? Please choose one answer. You're very interested. I'm sure you're interested because you're attending this session, but how much you're interested? This program, which will improve your scientific communication, field performance, career development. Okay, thank you. Number 7, the training time. This is very important because we want to make sure any future training fits realistically into your schedule. We just don't want to plug in a time and tell you attend these sessions. So tell us, when would attending the sessions be convenient for you? Weekdays, morning, afternoon, evening, or weekends? 2 more polls after this poll. Okay, the poll before the last. Program commitment. How long are you willing to commit per week for this certificate program? Because learning, as you know, requires commitment, but it has to be manageable. Let us know what amount of weekly time feels realistic for you. 1 to 3 hours per week, 3 to 5, maybe more than 5. And definitely the more hours per week, the faster the program will end or will be delivered. And finally, what's your main motivation for attending this medical representative certificate program? What would personally motivate you to join us? What would make it really and truly worthwhile for you to improve your performance, to advance your career? Certification maybe for your CV, or maybe your employer requires some extra training for you, or you're personally interested. So this would also help us a lot to know your objective behind this certificate program. Wow, thank you so much, everybody. That was great. Thank you for your time and for your patience. Your answers give us a real picture now in the room. So now let's step up and look at the role itself. Let's go into the main focus of our lecture. Let's go talk about medical representatives. Today's discussion is about what it truly means to be a medical representative, how the role has evolved, why it's improving your skills, and in the right direction, definitely. And I'm going to be talking about these topics. What is a medical representative? The role beyond sales, the role beyond only just going and selling medications and promoting them. The representative as a bridge between us, what and what. We'll see how the role has changed over time, the skill gap that is still there in every representative, what companies look for. Sometimes you are employed in a company, but definitely, even the company itself doesn't train you on what it wants. It only judges you. Okay. And then I'll be talking about the philosophy of our program and a small closing thought. Okay. So you're ready. Let us begin with defining what is a medical representative. Okay. A medical representative is a role. Okay. It is not just a salesperson. You're the bridge between your company's science and the doctor's practice. Okay? Your role is to communicate information accurately, build trust, and in the bigger picture, influence patient care positively, even indirectly. Okay? You're the person translating what happens in research, labs, into something that makes sense in the doctor's daily decision making. And this is very important, okay? Because doctors don't just evaluate the product, they evaluate you, your clarity, your confidence, your honesty, your professionalism. All of that becomes associated with the company you represent. So even though you don't treat patients directly, your communication can influence prescribing decisions, and that indirectly affects patients' outcomes. Okay, so you have a very big role. Now, the role beyond sales. One of the biggest misconceptions is that this job is about memorizing products. Okay? You are just having this leaflet about the product, you have the product message, and you are repeating them, promoting products to increase the sales. In reality, it's not about that. It's about understanding the science enough to answer unexpected questions, not only what's written in the brochure of the product. It's about communicating clearly enough to be trusted. Okay, and I will give examples of false communication or bad communications or broken communication. And finally, it's about requiring professional judgment. For example, let me give you an example. Sometimes the best decision in a visit is not to present anything at all. You go to the doctor, it might be only to listen to him, only to observe, or to schedule another discussion later. Believe me, that level of judgment, according to you, is what separates average representative from a representative who is only memorizing what is written in the brochure of the medication and going and reciting it to a doctor. Okay? Now, you are working as a representative, a bridge. Think about how many clinical trials exist for a single therapeutic area. Okay? For a single therapeutic area, there are millions of clinical trials. Doctors don't have time to analyze them all. What are you going to do? Your job is to filter information and connect it to what matters to their patients. Do you know to do that? Do you do that? Are you able to do that? Do you know how to do that? When you consistently do this, well, the doctor stops seeing you as someone selling something and starts seeing you as someone useful. That's when trust begins to build. Trust is built through knowledge. So you will be acting, you will be acting as a bridge between the research and the practice. You are the translator of data into clinical relevance, and you are the builder of a long-term trust. How are you going to do that? By skills, by practice, by training. Now, how has this role, let us look about how has this role evolved over time or over the years. Okay, now, 20 years ago, doctors depended heavily on representatives for information. We used to go to the doctor's visits. They used to tell us what's new, tell us what's going on in the field. Today, doctors have less time. Information is widely accessible, so the physician can open their phone, can ask ChatGPT, can access guidelines instantly. And as you know, and as you're living it, competition is everywhere. So the question that asks them itself, why should they listen to you? What is there important for them to listen to you? Some people said that this AI or this surge of ChatGPT and AI and accessibility of information will replace many jobs. One of them is medical representative. Well, no. And strongly, strongly, I say no. They will only do so, they will replace you only if you bring something beyond what Google or PubMed provides. Okay? Context, interpretation, relevance, professional discussion, everything. This means being good is no longer enough. You need to be exceptional. You need to have one edge above. Okay? Now, there is a reality we cannot miss or we cannot hide behind. Let's be honest for a moment. Motivation is not enough. Motivation alone is not enough in this role. I've met countless, many from my students, from my colleagues, representatives who are extremely eager, who wake up every day excited to meet doctors, but they lack certain preparation that makes them effective. Okay? Knowledge is important also. You need to know your product and the science behind it. But I've seen representatives also with excellent backgrounds. They were nerds. They were top in our class, okay? But suddenly they freeze in front of a doctor when he asks them a question outside the script that they have memorized, outside the script that the company has taught them. Why? Because knowledge alone isn't enough. You need the skill to apply it in that moment, okay? Also, communication matters immensely. Let me give you an example. You have two reps. Two reps may know the exact same data about a drug, but the way they present it can completely change the doctor's perception, and this is definite. One might seem confident and credible, and the other hesitant and generic and only memorizing scripts. The difference is clarity, structure, and the way they deliver the information. And also, strategy matters. Strategy is so important. A good rep doesn't just show up and present a product, even if he knows the science behind it. They plan their visits, anticipate objections, prioritize which doctors are key opinion leaders listed, and adapt their approach depending on the audience. So, the reality check here is this: success in this field is not about motivation, it's not about knowledge alone, it's not about strategy alone. It's about combining preparation, communication, strategy. And this is what is the program going to provide for you. Okay? Now, it's obvious after all what I said is that there is a real gap here. Okay? Universities give us a strong scientific foundation, and that's absolutely valuable. We learn pharmacology, we learn pharmaceutics, mechanisms of action, interactions, therapeutic classes, a little bit of research here and there. All that matters, okay. But what university usually doesn't teach is what happens when you are standing in front of a physician who interrupts you in the middle of a sentence and says, okay, yes, but this drug is superior to the current guideline recommendation therapy, okay? Or is it just inferior? How that's a textbook question. This is a clinical reasoning question. Or imagine another situation, which is a tough one. You present a product and the doctor says, my concern is safety in elderly patients with renal impairment. What impairment? What evidence do we have there? Wow. If the representative only memorized the promotional message, he will freeze because the answer isn't on the slide or isn't on the brochure. So what happens? You will fall in a trap. You will repeat the main selling points or shift the topic or promise to come back later. And that's exactly where credibility drops. He will not, he will end the call and the doctor will tell you, I'll see you next week. Next week you'll come. The nurse will tell you he is busy and he will not see you again. Okay. Another example I see often. A representative memorizes one sentence. This product significantly reduces cardio, for example, let me say cardiovascular or whatever risk. And when the doctor asks, compared to what baseline? Relative risk or absolute risk reduction? Oh my God. The representative wasn't trained to interpret study designs or endpoints, so they can't answer confidently, only if they know the number. Even if you tell him the number, he tells you, compared to what? This isn't a knowledge problem. It's a translation problem. University taught us the science, but now how to use it in real conversations? It is tricky. So many representatives fall back on scripts, on their even if they have some knowledge. And scripts feel safe sometimes until the doctor steps outside the script. And believe me, doctors always do that. They always love to do that. I've seen doctors who say, this is my game. I want to have some fun. Okay, he tells the nurse, bring the rep in. I want to have some fun. Okay? So real conversations are unpredictable. They require reasoning, flexibility, and confidence and understanding, not just memorizing information. Okay? That's the difference between delivering information and actually communicating professionally, knowing what proof of evidence to get. I've even known some representatives who tell me, no, I know how to do that. And they go and they bring a piece of information or a piece of evidence, an article, a scientific article, but the proof that is in that is very weak. Okay, so also they lose the call with the doctor. Okay, let me give you an example. We have a study here, a proof of what I'm saying. A study carried out by Muqattash et al. About its title is Evaluating Scientific Research Knowledge and Attitude Among Medical Representatives in Jordan. So it's a cross-sectional study. They carried it out to evaluate the scientific research knowledge and attitude among medical representatives. I will not go through the numbers and the results. All in lay language, it was a survey among representatives where they found that although most believed research knowledge increases their value, many struggled to explain clinical trials to answer physicians' research questions. What does this show? It shows that medical reps believe research knowledge is important, but struggles to answer clinical trial questions and lack understanding of research terminology. There is a real scientific knowledge gap. Okay, this is a problem. And as a real story in this sense, let me share a real scenario that I have seen and that happens frequently in the field. A representative, for example, was presenting an antihypertensive drug, a cardiologist. Everything was going well until the physician asked, how does this compare with current hypertensive guidelines? Again, I'm repeating the example. So the difference between these two visits is not personality, it's preparation, it's scientific clinical research knowledge. Okay? Now, let me give you another a piece of proof, which is, or a study carried out by Faqih et al. And it is views and perceptions of medical representatives and physicians about the role of medical representatives and pharmaceutical advertisement in Saudi Arabia. Okay, this is a qualitative study carried out in order where they interviewed physicians and medical representatives both, and they found that doctors value representatives who combine scientific research knowledge with communication skills, but they become skeptical and a little bit shaky when the representative appears too sales focused or lacks scientific depth. They say, we don't want sellers, we want scientific people to discuss that with us. Okay, and on the strategic part, I can say that here's another scenario. Two representatives also promoted the same diabetes, for example, diabetes or another kind of gynecological product medication in the same hospital. Okay, Imagine the first representative focusing entirely on product features, efficacy, percentages, dosage, packaging. He is scientifically top, okay? The second representative approached the physician differently. He or she began by asking about the doctor, telling him, what's your biggest challenge in managing diabetic patients? Asking him questions beyond the scientific part. Okay, the doctor mentioned adherence and patient confusion with multiple medications. Here, the representative steps in and focuses the discussion on how the product simplified regimens and improved adherence. You know, you understand? So, what happens is that the same product, the same data, but one conversation was centered on the drug, on science, on selling it, while the other was centered on the doctor's reality. What is his problem? What is his challenge? Okay. Guess which one resulted in the consistent prescriptions? Strategy. The second, because strategy is often more powerful than information. They knew where is the key point or the weak point in the doctor and they addressed it. Okay. Now, let's look at what companies or let's look about the opportunity. Okay. What is new needed? Okay. Is a new type of medical representative who is confident in discussion. Okay. You should have scientific confidence. This means this doesn't sorry mean memorizing data. It means understanding it well enough to explain it clearly, answer questions calmly, and know where your product fits clinically. Knowing how to get the evidence, this is very important. I have seen medical reps going around with papers that where the evidence is very poor, low quality evidence. Okay, they should know how to critically appraise scientific articles, knowing how to get evidence, how to critically appraise it. Okay, and to present it to a doctor. When a representative speaks with a science confidence, doctors listen differently because the discussion feels professional rather than promotional, and they are only looking at in front of a recorder and they are recording what they have memorized. Okay. Second, what is needed is a representative who builds relationship. He has a relationship building ability. Let me say it like that. The field is not built on one visit. It's built on repeated interactions over time. Companies value representatives who know how to listen, remember physician preferences, respected time constraints, and build trust gradually because strong relationships make communication easier and more effective in the long run. This comes with training. And let me share a personal story about that. My husband worked for 20 years as a medical representative. He began as a medical rep and increasingly evolved in his post until he became a country manager. When he became a country manager, most of the doctors held the phone. They told him, we were more happy when you were a medical rep. We love to see you there. He had built a wonderful relationship with them just because they respected him, because he worked on himself. At that time, there were no courses like these. He used personally to go and enroll in diplomas in the universities in order to improve his scientific knowledge and business skills in promotion. Okay. And third thing, what is needed is consistent professionalism. This is about reliability. Do you communicate respectfully? Do you follow up when you promise? Do you handle difficult situations? Okay. Companies want representatives who represent the brand well in every interaction, not just when things go smoothly. They want you to present their brand in the bad times more than the good times. Okay. And finally, let's talk about the strategic thinking. This means planning your visits, prioritizing your accounts, adapting your message, and understanding where your product truly adds value. Instead of reacting to the field randomly, strategic representative move with intention. Okay. These four elements together define modern professional medical representative, and they are very important nowadays. As I told you, some professions are going to be faded away by AI. Let us not allow it to do that. Okay. Regarding our program, the program that we are going to deliver and that Dr. Rana has already talked about, our program adds science and communication and strategy, the three things or the three parts that I have talked about. Okay. We will give real field scenarios. We are going to talk about practical professional development, and this is exactly the idea behind it. Okay. And it's not to teach communication alone, because communication without substance feels empty. It's not going to teach Strategy alone, because strategy without understanding becomes a guesswork, okay? We are not going to teach only science, we are going to teach the three of these. The program is designed around the intersection of these three elements, okay? Clinical research, science, communication, and strategy, okay? And what will you gain? You will tell me, okay, if I participated in this program, what I'm going to gain. Now let's talk about it. First, scientific communication clarity. You learn not just what to say and how to say it. You can go, you can read the brochure from the company, and you can go and recite it to the doctor. No, you learn how to say it. You will translate complex clinical data into insights doctors can use, and doing so in a way that is concise and credible. Sometimes it happens, a doctor has on his table a study from a competitor company. What will you do when he gives you this study? He shovels it in your face and tells you, okay, what about the results of this study? Tell me, what do you think? You have to have the knowledge to defend your call. You have to have the knowledge practically, credibly, and confidently to defend scientifically your point of view. Okay, you'll be able to explain the study endpoints, guideline recommendations in plain language more than complex words that are recited. Okay. Second thing, stronger physician trust. We will help you to gain this. Nowadays, this is the currency in the field, believe me. When a doctor trusts you, they're more willing to engage, listen, consider your recommendations. You learn techniques to build rapport with him. Only your trust will sell the medication. Okay? And third, the strategic positioning, which I feel is very important. You learn the approach, how to approach him, not just to give him a message. This means prioritizing the visits, as I will not repeat myself, okay? Instead of talking about all the benefits at once, you'll highlight what matters in each visit. Sometimes when you go to a doctor, you may be he may have a tough day or a very tough operation, okay? And you came to him planning your day. You want to tell him about this study, about this result, whatever. You have to learn how to strategically read his mind. You go, you enter, and then you see he's not feeling okay. He is not in the mood of chatting. What you can do is just tell him, I'm coming to tell you hi. I'm coming to chat with you. Anything bothering you? Okay, bye-bye. You have to cool him down, okay? So he will build greater confidence with you, okay? By the end of the program, you won't just be a representative, believe me, who knows their product. You'll be someone who can think, adapt, and communicate, and who will be always reached by doctors. Please come, we miss you. Okay. Finally, will that impact my career? The skills don't just, these skills that you are going to teach you will not just improve what happens in a single visit. They will shape how people talk about you and when you're not in the room. Okay, managers of different companies, believe me, they meet with each other. They will notice which representative doctors respect. At the hospital wards, I used to hear names of representatives, doctors wish to meet them. Okay, product managers know who's understanding what he's talking about, who's not. Medical teams notice who communicates evidence properly. Medical directors, medical doctors, and slowly your reputation will build. And in this industry, reputation is currency, as I told you. It's what leads to promotions. It's what opens doors to training roles, product management, regional positions, medical affairs, etc. Because companies invest in people they trust to represent them in bigger responsibilities. So when you develop these skills, you're not just improving your visits, you're shaping your whole future career. So better credibility, stronger reputation, more growth opportunities, and greater confidence. And finally, a closing thought. Remember this. Companies invest in products. Doctors invest in evidence, but successful reps, they invest in themselves. That's where the edge comes from. Because products change, guidelines change, markets change, but when you build your own skills, your confidence, and your professional value, that stays with you wherever you go. And that investment, believe me, is what transforms a job into a career. I've been graduated since maybe 30 years ago. So let me tell you something. Till now, I'm investing in myself. I'm taking courses. It's a whole new world. The role of a medical rep is way more than just selling products. Believe me, don't let people tell you you are sellers. When you enter the hospital, when you visit a doctor, don't let the nurse or the doctor or anyone feel you are a seller. Okay, it's about credibility, communication, and making sure the right scientific information reaches the right people. You are the teacher of the doctor. Okay, so today's sneak peek, this is only a sneak peek, and today was just the first conversation. If you want to be among the first to receive full details and early registration, please leave your contact information. We'd love to have you to join us and start building this next generation of medical representatives. And thank you for listening. Thank you for your patience. And I hope I delivered the message um, as much as I can. Thank you so much, Dr. Rana.
Thank you, Dr. Sama, for this very, very engaging presentation and sneak peek. I am engaged as well. I'm not related to a medical rep background or career path, and you got me engaged. How about the people who are in the room with us today? And we've
Hopefully.
got almost 60 or 58 participants who stayed all the way till now.
Thank you
Um,
so much.
so,
Thank you so much for
thank you
your
for this
patience.
very, very engaging, and I'm receiving very, very good comment in the panel. We are opening the door right now for question and
Yes.
answers.
Or
Uh,
maybe, can I add something, Dr. Rana? Maybe after the session, they remember any question, you can drop your questions to us, definitely.
I'm having amazing comments in the chat. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Sama. You made you made a great impact. I think Salwa dropped her email.
Yes.
Definitely, we will be contacting you, Salma, through VMA. Sultan, thank you so much for your comment. So let me see. We have another question from Ghadir. I'm a fresh graduate. I want to be a medical rep. Which thing can help me to get a job with companies? Talk about CV, help to get this job. So, Dr. Sama, any thoughts about this?
Definitely. What's the name of the
Ghadir.
Ghader, okay, definitely. As I told you, this course is built on three modules or on three cornerstones. Okay, we are going to talk about the business part. Let us first begin with the introduction to the world of medical reps. Okay, it will be a series of sessions about that. What are the companies? How they are built? The interaction between companies? How are medications promoted, etc. Then we'll move to the scientific part. The scientific part where I will cover the whole clinical research process from initiation to publication, okay? Because some companies, they publish their own results, they publish their own clinical trials, right, Dr. Rana, as you know. So
Yes.
we will cover all that, okay? Maybe one of the one representative told me once he took a course medical writing with me. Okay, after 1 year or 2 years, she told me, "Do you know that from this course I was promoted in the company?" I told her why. She told me because in the company we carried out medical clinical trials and clinical data was shared. So I had to write the paper. So they promoted me, and I was on top of the medical writing department. They opened a whole department for her. Okay, and she led a big team. Also after that, we will go to the business part where Dr. Rana will introduce uh, two
Yes,
speakers will join us.
let me talk
Yes,
about this a little
yes.
bit. So
Please
the
talk about
program,
this.
yeah, the purpose of today's session is to introduce the idea for you and to see what are your needs as learners in getting this program, the full program. So Dr. Sama will be our lead the trainer on this program, and this is a program certificate which is going to be at least 70 hours long. And Dr. Asama will be taking the part of the, as you have seen, the scientific part and the business context part to teach you about all these details. We are also having, this is a multi-speaker program. We have another speaker who is joining, who is currently practicing in a top tier company. And she will be talking about the selling skills for you to build the competencies in that area. And the third speaker, I can really right now proudly announce our senior medical advisor, who is a very prominent physician. and used to be the former vice president for medical affairs in a very prominent university in Lebanon, which is the Lebanese American University, has joined the team of MedHealth Pro as a senior advisor for medical affairs and for health systems. And he was so excited about the project. I was telling Dr. Sama the other day, and he would like to join us for a couple of hours to tell you the perspective of the physicians of the do and don'ts of a medical representative. So when you sit in this course or this program, you are going to hear it end to end from the point of building the knowledge, the scientific knowledge, appraising the knowledge critically, understanding the business context, building your selling skills, and getting a first-hand communication with a physician who used to receive medical rep and what he is looking into top-notch medical rep. So this is really a very comprehensive program. Also, the program will be accredited. So we are working with VMA to get it accredited nationally, probably at the level of the kingdom. And this is a discussion that will be undergoing with VMA team. But from a MedHealth Pro perspective, we are definitely going to get it accredited from two entities, one based in British accreditation from the UK, and the units that you receive from that accreditation, you can use them towards an academic degree for university that operates in the British space, and this is the added value of MedHealth Pro. So we are going to get this accreditation for this program, and the second level of accreditation that we will be working on, and hopefully we'll be successful with that, is also European credit from the European Commission for Pharmacy Education. So this is going to be a very solid program for you, for those who are interested to pursue it, for all the reasons that Dr. Sama has talked about, and for many more. And we're going to expand the potential of this program by covering it from many sides. I hope I answered the question.
Sorry. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, because we have two interesting questions.
Yeah, I answered the question. I think
Okay.
you want to cover the chat
Yes.
or the Q&A?
Yes,
Because we
because the question popped in front of me.
okay.
Rashid is asking, as a pharmacy student, as pharmacy students, we listen that about medical rep profession, it focuses mainly on marketing and ignoring clinical parts. This is a very, very wrong. This is a very wrong idea about that, and I have just proved that for you. Even if you were the best marketeer, even if you were the best businessman, if you don't have the clinical part, you will fail in that. Doctors don't need buyers or sellers. Doctors don't need businessmen. Okay, they are scientific people. They want to talk to you about science. Okay, and you will see. If you are a medical rep and ask medical reps, you go into the visit, they discuss science with you, they discuss clinical research with you. They do not discuss, they don't care about the sales of this medication. It's better than the other medication. So if you don't have the clinical part, you will not succeed with doctors, believe me. Okay. There was also another question, Dr. Rana, which was interesting. Is it a good idea to change my job as a hospital pharmacist with 13 years of experience and work as a medical rep? Well, let me tell you, anonymous, no name. Okay, choosing between a hospital pharmacist and a medical rep, the pharma sales or role, really depends on whether you prefer a stable clinical environment or like the hospital pharmacy, or a dynamic, performance-driven career with lots of challenges. Okay. And there are certain differences. Okay, for example, the core focus of a hospital pharmacist on patient care, medication safety, dispensing, etc. While on a medical representative, it is about sales, marketing, definitely, building relationships, as well as discussing science and proving science to doctors. Okay. Also, the work environment. If you want to work inside a hospital with a team, healthcare professionals, it is a hospital pharmacy call. Okay, but if you want to go in the field, traveling, visiting doctors, conferences, then it is the medical rep role. So it depends on which direction you are steered to. Okay. Any more questions, please?
I think we
We
have answered all the questions in the Q&A. I'm monitoring the chat. We had few questions asking us how they can register for the full program. Let me answer this also live. The full program is going to be launched with VMA when we agree on all the details of the when is the appropriate time to start it. From our side, I think MedHealth Pro is ready to start this after Eid al-Fitr, because I know right now it is the holy month of Ramadan and everybody is really engaged with the holy month. So probably after Eid al-Fitr, we are going to discuss a probable date for that. We are from our side. We wanted today to give this sneak peek to understand the learners' needs, and we do understand right now. We have a very good understanding of your concerns, the things that you would like to learn, and if this program got accredited at the international level, at a very high level, what are the things that you are looking for? So, and we told you from our side how we are thinking. So it was a very good, engaging session to really blend our own thoughts for planning and structuring a 70-hour program directly with the learners who could be potential participants. So that was very, very important to do this session today. So we'll be waiting for your questions if you have any. We are ready. We still have a few minutes to cover before we close.
As I told you, sorry, and waiting for the questions, I've worked with many pharmaceutical companies, and no matter how they train you about clinical research, there's still a gap. There's still really a gap. There are still medical reps who refer to us telling us, please, I have a very important call tomorrow with a key opinion leader, and I'm concerned about, we have a new guideline. What if he asks this? What if he asks that? Okay. So this is very important.
Dr.
Uh,
Asama, I guess we have missed one question. I'm not sure if you covered it. We have a
tell
question
me.
from Muhammad, how to build strong relationships with doctors. Uh, that's a good
Okay.
question. I think we missed it. Sorry, Muhammad, we missed it because we
No
had a very
problem at
busy
all.
chat at the time. Go ahead.
Okay. Any relationship with doctors or other than doctors in real life, it is stronger by trust and by respect. Okay. If they respect you, they will trust you. If they trust you, then you will have a strong relationship with you. How will they respect you? When they see that you are fully equipped with the knowledge, with the skills, with all the replies to their arguments. Okay, this is it. But if you go and only give them numbers and push them, please prescribe this to me, please prescribe this, how will he trust you? How will he build a relationship with you? I've seen doctors in the middle of their very, very, very busy day, they allow certain reps to come in. So I asked why this rep is allowed to come visit the doctor 2 times per day, in the morning and the afternoon. And some reps, they have to take an appointment every 15 days once. It differs because when the doctor receives this rep who he trusts, he respects, and he has a strong relationship with him, he knows he's not wasting his time. So the golden rule is don't waste the doctor's time. If you don't waste his time, you will have a strong relationship with him. Okay?
More to come, Muhammad, during the course. So you will learn how to build a
Definitely.
strong. Yeah, this is only like an introduction, and you will hear it, as I said during a while ago. You will hear it firsthand from a physician, from a practicing physician who has reached very high level places in leadership of medical doctors, and he do understand exactly what medical doctors are looking in competent medical reps. So you will hear it from both ends, from Dr. Sama and her wide knowledge in this, and
Inshallah.
from the person who will be receiving your services. And you will do the math and really bringing those two ends together.
And
Um,
we will provide you with the real life scenarios, with case
exactly.
studies. It is a 70 hours course. Okay. Now we are
Very long.
only giving you an idea, a very shallow idea. It's a 70-hour course. There are applications, there are exercises, there are case studies, assignments, maybe.
I just want to call everybody to fill the evaluation that Hala has just posted in the chat because we really need your feedback, and your feedback is very important to us. This will help us really build a program because we are going to take your feedback in the poll that Dr. Sama shared earlier during the session, the feedback that you have written right now in the evaluation report, and really look at our own program and the planning that we are doing for that with our team, and recraft the program in a way that will really answers your need. So please do provide this feedback because it is important to us. Let me go
Yes.
one more time over the chat to see if we missed any question by mistake.
And we thank you so much for your time and for your patience with us.
I want to really take time to thank Dr. Sama.
Thank you
Uh,
so much for this
really
opportunity.
for an amazing presentation, very engaging presentation. أنا بسميها بالعربي بعتذر من الأودينس إذا somebody does not speak Arabic السهل الممتنع يعني
Yeah,
دكتورة سماء very complex topic in a very approachable manner. Thank you so
thank
much
you.
for your expertise, for your time. So I wish everybody a very safe night, and we hope to see many, many of you during the soon to be launched the medical representative certificate program with VMA.